Hello and welcome to this WOW Festival Made in Wales panel. I'm Osian Andrew and I'm a part of Ffilm Ifanc who have made the selection. Ffilm Ifanc is a group of young people aiming to showcase the talents of other young people and filmmakers in Wales to the rest of the world, and we are honoured to be a part of the WOW Wales Film Festival 2022. Now in this panel we will be talking with numerous filmmakers from our selection, so without further ado I am going to allow them to introduce themselves to you.
So I'm Amelia Lloyd from Carmarthen in southwest Wales. I'm a filmmaker and actor and I've recently graduated from drama school.
My name is Lottie, I'm from South Wales and I'm the director of the film Intuitive.
My name's Ronell Shaw. I'm an award-winning composer, songwriter, music producer and cultural curator. And you are currently backstage in my dressing room as I'm at the National Theatre performing tonight.
I'm Maned Rees and I made Cysylltiad alongside Sian Rhys-Williams and David Bridle.
I'm Ben Roberts and I've been directing short films for around 6 years now. Through the Waves, which I directed, is part of the Made in Wales programme.
Hi, my name is Ffilm Ifanc. I'm an artist and filmmaker and I'm going to be showing my film Trail from Bygone Era at WOW Film Festival.
Well, now that you've met the filmmakers, let's talk about the films. Now, I've asked the filmmakers to tell us a little bit about the films that we've chosen and how the idea came about.
I think the main question that was going through my head was, how can I bring Dylan Thomas's Under Milk to life visually and do it justice as authentically as possible? So yeah, if we were to put it in one word, it would definitely be authenticity. Because his words are so powerful and so poetic, it was really important to me that the visuals have the same effect and they just match the text in harmony.
So the aim of the film is partly to capture maternal instinct, but it's also to show the benefits of letting someone else into your creative process. It's so easy to self-criticise and talk yourself down after creating something that you should be proud of. Sometimes you need someone else to show you what you're capable of, so to see it through their eyes kind of thing.
I think more than anything, I want viewers to go away and think. It's not about saying, hey, this is what it's about. It's about a lot of things. But what I want is for people to be asking questions, opening up healthy dialogue and having conversations about some of the subject matters that we find difficult to talk about. So it's not so much about, hey, I got this from it. It's, okay, well, I understand that and I really wanted to find out more about this. Who can I talk to? What conversations are being had? Is this a subject that is being spoken about today?
My aim with the film was really just to make something that people might be able to relate to on some level, and if they do relate to it, that it could help them in some way, even if that's just to feel less alone in the experience.
So this film is about people in Trail who have inherited their parents' archives. So it's about personal archives, and in a wider context it's about us as an archive. The way we document history, personal histories and social histories.
The aim of Through the Waves was to share the incredible and completely unknown story of Artie Moore. It was only known within his sort of circles in Blackwood and Gerllig Roes, and I really wanted to share it with the world and in fact the rest of Wales. I think it's a really important story that people should know about. And on top of that, it was a completely new perspective on the story of the Titanic, a tragedy that everyone's familiar with, and offering a new perspective on that I found really, really exciting.
Well, there we are, a little bit of insight for you into the films that we've chosen, and fantastic films they are too. Now, Through the Waves has such an in-depth story, we just had to ask director Ben Roberts to go into a little bit more detail about how that fantastic story came about.
What initially drew me to the story of Artie Moore was Cess Davis, who was from Blackwood and who in fact met Artie Moore in the 1930s. Cess helped us to understand the technology at the time of the amateur radio hams such as Artie Moore, and in fact introduced us then to the Blackwood Radio Club, who owned the who owned Artie's original Spark Gap transmitter.
As a passionate Welsh speaker myself, I was very keen to know what Marid Rhys thought about working in the Welsh language on the film Cysylltiad and the importance of Welsh language films.
I feel a sense of freedom as a writer in Welsh language that I don't feel in English, less so linguistically and more in terms of expressing truthful experiences, and that is a really important aspect of work for me.
Filmmaking can be a fun process, but at times it can be quite challenging. I wanted to know what kind of issues and problems these filmmakers ran into in making their films and how they came about overcoming them.
Making a film in lockdown was a huge challenge. I mean, sometimes, well, a lot of the time I couldn't get the cast all together to do the voiceover work. I couldn't get them on filming together because there were restrictions. So I think there was one scene with I think the Ogmore Pritchard scene where I had to, one of the cast members, Matt, I had to film on Zoom. I had to get him to film his camera on Zoom and just direct him through Zoom because we literally had no choice. But I definitely think that without any of these struggles or challenges, then I wouldn't have learnt anything. So yeah, they definitely come with their benefits.
The main challenge for the film was the budget was basically non-existent. It was a very basic level student film. It ran a lot smoother than we were expecting, in all honesty. Our initial actors dropped out. The mother in the film is actually my own mother. I called her up and I was like, please do me a favour. We need someone for our film, and she was happy to do it.
As a composer and one of the performers for the piece, I didn't really come across any issues, any struggles or any challenges. I had a very clear sonic sound. I knew the timbre of the vocalist that I wanted, and I think as a performer doing the spoken word and the rap parts, I had a very clear idea of how that needed to sit on the groove. The only challenge, I guess, I came across was trying to get a date that worked for the opera singer that we worked with, because busy person, but I knew the sound I wanted, so it wasn't an issue. It was just about finding the right time that it all synced up so we could get in the studio and create what we were able to create.
We made the film during lockdown, so there were quite a few challenges. Sian did an amazing job of recording herself, and then I acted to her recording. That was something that initially, as an actor, I was quite nervous about doing, but the performance that Sian gave was so moving and so wonderful that didn't really end up being an issue. Definitely making a film with just two people was hard work, and David did an incredible job of being a crew of one, really. He did all the behind the camera roles, and I feel so grateful that he put in all the hard work he did.
One of the greatest challenges of making Through the Waves was almost definitely the crowdfunding campaign. As enjoyable as it was a heck of a lot of work, and I think in future I'd bring people on to sort of share those responsibilities, making the perks and getting all the DVDs sorted and sent out.
So the biggest challenge for me in the making of this film was trying to do justice to these stories and to these archives that mean so much to the people who feature in this film. So I was approached by Rhiannon, who features in the film, and by Dion Wynn, who produced the documentary, about coming on board and making this film. And they had already been speaking to Duncan about the archives that he had, hundreds, thousands of photos that he'd inherited from his father. So that was the biggest challenge, I think, doing justice to those stories.
Insight into the filmmakers' challenges and how they overcame them there. Now, I wanted to ask Ffilm Pritchard about her film Ffrill from Bygone Era and the importance of telling the stories of small towns in Wales.
So we really wanted to make something that did justice to these stories. that also look towards the future in a positive way, instead of just romanticising the past. Because that was a recurring theme in our conversations, was how can we apply this? How can we take this passion that people have and apply it to future generations and to the future of where we come from?
Well, with International Women's Day approaching, we wanted to ask Amelia Lloyd what she felt about the importance of female voices in film.
I want to definitely promote the need for more female filmmakers in the industry. I mean, seeing films from a female perspective can make such a difference, and it's definitely something that I wanted to integrate into Under Milkwood. There are a few moments where you're looking through it through a female gaze.
Ffilm Ifanc curated the Made in Wales selection for WOW Wales, and we are very grateful for them for letting us do so. We wanted to ask the filmmakers what attracted them to submitting to us and what they thought the relevance and importance was for their films to be showcased in WOW Wales Film Festival's Made in Wales selection.
And what really attracted me to being part of the Made in Wales programme was the idea that we'd be representing Wales in some way. This was a film that was set in Wales, made in Wales. Everybody who worked on it was from Wales, and it's this lovely local Welsh story. And being a part of that programme, focusing on these stories from Wales was really, really exciting.
And I'm really happy that we are part of the Made in Wales package with WOW Festival. It's really, really cool that they are giving a spotlight to Welsh creatives.
I wanted to be part of WOW Film Festival because I think it's just an amazing festival that brings together so many diverse voices and experiences. And I think that's a really important and incredible thing. I wanted to share the film with people, and I feel really lucky to be able to do that.
I'm a very simple guy in the sense that the ethos resonated with me. The content that I was seeing on the platform it felt authentic, and it feels like something that I would be interested in looking for, whether my work was a part of it or not. So that was it really. Real, recognised and real. Yeah.
And we at Ffilm Ifanc want to say a massive thank you to everybody that submitted a film to us to select from. We enjoyed watching all of them, they were fantastic, and we are very proud of the films we have in our selection. Now, as we near the end of our panel, I wanted to ask the filmmakers what the future has in store for them.
So I've definitely got the itch now for filmmaking. I really, really want to carry on. I would love to write another short film, like completely original. I really enjoy sticking with my Welsh roots, but who knows what my next short film's going to be. I'm definitely writing down loads of ideas, just getting things together. But with Under Milkwood, I really want to submit it to film festivals, which I will be doing next year.
As far as future projects go, there's constantly something in the work thanks to uni, and I'm currently working on a script that I wrote last year that I've been holding on to very tightly. I really want to do something good with that.
So I'm currently writing a series of short documentaries. I can't tell you what the subject matter is about, but it will get you to think, which is the most important thing. It will open up an idea, it will ask questions, and it will leave you, hopefully, looking for answers in your own way. I'm also working on a theatre production that will be both filmed and performed live. So we're figuring out the digital aspect of it right now and how we're going to film it, how we're going to go about creating a fusion of how that filmed part can also be integrated into the live part. But wait and see.
As a creative moving forward in my career, I want really to focus on storytelling and using every means possible to really honour the story, and through that hopefully create work that is truthful and that can mean something to people.
So I'm quite lucky this year to have a few personal projects in the pipeline. I'm in the process of realising a script that I wrote the beginning of last year. So that's coming together. I'm really excited about it. And then after that, I'm going to be working on a project called Dear Heartbreak, another script that I wrote last year. It was with a small bursary from Moving Parts Puppet Festival to get it to first draft. So I'm going to be working with Dion Wynn again to polish this up, get a bigger team working on it and get it to festival ready status.
My future as a filmmaker, I hope to be in television and film. Through the Waves is currently making its rounds on the international film circuit, where I'm constantly searching for representation and an agent. But so far the film has picked up 5 awards, which is amazing. Meanwhile, I'm doing a fine art masters to gain some sort of sophistication in my work, searching for better originality from the wider contemporary art scene.
Well, that's it. We've reached the end of our panel. I want to say a massive thank you to Wow Wales for allowing us to make the selection for them, and also everybody at Ffilm Ifanc. We all pulled together to make this selection work. We must also thank our filmmakers, and they are Amelia Lloyd, Lottie Pobjoy, Renel Shaw, Marriage Rees, Fionn Pritchard, and Ben Roberts. And thank you for watching. Be sure to watch the films in our selection available online. We are so proud to have been a part of this. Thank you so much to Wow Wales Festival. I've been Osian Andrew. Please be sure to follow Ffilm Ifanc at Ffilm Ifanc on our social media channels to keep up to date with everything we're doing. We've always got something in the pipeline. Thank you so much for watching. Diolch yn fawr, and we hope to see you soon. Hwyl am y tro.